guys, it's the beginning of November now, so that means I'm gonna do my October wrap-up. So let's get started. So the first thing I read this month, well maybe not the first thing, but I read a bunch of them, are the first 3 books in the Full Metal Alchemist series. And they were really good. I've got the next 3. I'm borrowing them from my sister. She has the whole box set, which, in case you're wondering, no, I did not move. I'm at my sister's house.
Yay!
Anyway, I'm going to try not to tear stuff up. But yes, I'm at my sister's house. You heard her in the background. We're going to film a video together once we're done filming our individuals, and it'll be super fun. So you guys will have an extra video to see on Friday. But anyway, I read the first 3 books of the Full Metal Alchemist series. I'm started on the next 3, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So if you guys are looking for a good manga series to read, I recommend this one. It's pretty entertaining. If you like magic and comedy and a little bit of drama, this is a good one. Also this month I read Saga. I read the first 2 issues of Saga. This is only issue 2. I misplaced issue 1. It's somewhere. I don't know. It's really good. I'm enjoying it. It's a little odd, I'll say, but most part good. It feels sort of like a Star Wars-y-ish world, sort of. But anyway, I really like it. Highly recommend. There you go. And the next book I read, I technically didn't read it as much as I listened to it on audiobook. It is the Circle of Magic, the first book in the Circle of Magic called Sandry's book. And it was really cute. I really enjoyed it. My sister is a huge fan of this series and of Tamara Pierce, and I have never read anything by her. And she burnt all the Circle of Magic audiobooks for me. And so I've been listening to them in my car, and I finished Sandry's book, and it was really good. It's basically all these kids have these magical abilities, but they're like specific to a certain element, sort of. Like Sandry, she's got magic with like thread, and there's other characters. There's a plant guy, there's a iron girl, or not so much iron as metal, just metals in general she's got magic with, and another girl has like powers with the elements. She can control like the earth and earthquakes and lightning and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool. It's really interesting. I'm excited to see where the series goes, so I highly recommend this book as well. The next book I read, I'm sorry for the lack of cover because little Miss Athena chewed my whole cover up the second day I had it, but I read Life and Death, Twilight Reimagined this month, and I really liked it. If you don't know about Life and Death, Twilight Reimagined, what it is it's the book Twilight, but it's all gender swapped. So Bella is now a guy whose name is Beau, and Edward is now a girl whose name is Edith, and all the characters are gender swapped, and it's really good. For whatever reason, having it gender swapped made it funnier. It read a lot more comically. If you like Twilight, I definitely recommend you read this. It was really good. I enjoyed it. And an easy read too. It was really easy to get through. So, again, another highly recommended book. And the next book I read, which I'm ashamed to say, I haven't read this series before, but I read Throne of Glass this month, and I read it in 3 days. It was really good. I'm about halfway through the second book, but oh my god, it's so good. I love it. You probably are like, where have you been, Heather? Everyone's read this book. There's like 3 more out now. I know. I'm back in the game! It follows the character Selena Sardathian, and she was like a famous assassin, but she was caught and put in prison. But she's been chosen to compete in this competition of all these like former soldiers or like other assassins and like master thieves and stuff like that to be the king's champion. So she's been entered in this competition, and everyone, well, they're keeping her identity a secret, but everyone that's picked her is like, oh yeah, she's definitely gonna win. But then weird things start happening where everyone in the competition, people start getting killed off, and it ends up being like more of a survival tale than a competition. But it's really good. I love the character Selena Sardathian. I like how she's kind of like in a moral gray area where she's killed for money for years and is good at what she does, but at the same time you can't help but like her even though she's a murderer. But she's really likable and she's easy to root for. I'm really enjoying the series. I love the characters in it. As far as team I don't know how you're supposed to say his name. I say it Cole. Other people say it Kale. It's C-H-A-O-L. But I say it Cole when I read it. So I don't know if I'm Team Cole or Team Dorian. I lean more towards Cole because they seem to have more similar, where he's captain of the guard and she's an assassin. I don't know. They just seem more similar. But it could change. I could end up liking Dorian more. So who knows. I feel like Endgame will be Dorian. But who knows. Again, really good series. If you haven't read it, read it. You'll like it. I promise. Alright. And the last book I read this month was The Haunting of Sunshine Girl. And let me tell you, this book was such a pleasant surprise. I wanted to read kind of a scary Halloween-y book this month, and this was the one I was like, I'm definitely reading through this before October is over. And it was so good. It is a little creepy, but if you're a person who doesn't like scary movies and stuff like that, I think you would be fine with this. It feels like very much like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, if you watch that show, it's like if Buffy the Vampire Slayer had an origin story, it would be like this. She is this girl who is adopted, and her and her mom moved from Texas to, I can't remember where at this moment, but she moves and she's at a new school and they're in a new house, and as soon as she moves in, weird shit starts going down. Like, it's creepy, but I wouldn't say it's scary, if you know what I mean. But anyway, she figures out this house is in fact haunted. There's demon possession that happens. She has to figure out how to stop it. In the meantime, she figures out who she is because she's adopted, and there's a lot of these weird things that are happening specifically to her that don't happen to anybody else. And so she's figuring out things about herself, and there's a lot of mystery involved, and along with adventure, and it's just really good. A lot better than I expected it to be. And there's going to be more books in this series, and it is part of, it's like the book is a spin-off of a YouTube series, which I've watched, which the YouTube series is pretty different from the book, but the book itself I like better, and if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. If you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you'll like this. So, there you go. So these are the books I read this month, you guys. So that is 9 things I read this month. I know some of them were manga and comic book issues, so they're shorter, but still, that's a pretty good reading month for me. And it's a really big relief for me too, because I came off of a month in September where I read hardly anything. I had a huge reading slump in September, so I was glad to get back on the reading train. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you can see more videos of us. And this week, you guys, stay tuned for it. There's going to be an extra video on Friday because we're together, so we're doing a combo. So anyway, guys, comment down below. Let us know what you read this month, what some of your favorite books were from the month of October. And until next time, happy reading!